For men over 60, the first red flag isn't memory loss. It's when things stop working down there. That tightness, that weakness, that cramping, it's not just aging, it's a circulation crisis. Your blood vessels are struggling, nitric oxide is dropping, arteries are stiffening, and your manhood is paying the price. But here's the good news. No pills, no prescriptions. Just 3 everyday foods that can naturally restore blood flow, vitality, and performance. I'm Dr. Kara. I've helped thousands of men regain confidence, and I'll show you how. Stick around because the third food works so fast, some men feel the difference in just days. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a simple 7-day plan to put it all into action, step by step.
As a practicing urologist with over 3 decades of experience, I've had thousands of honest, sometimes difficult conversations with men over 60. And there's one pattern I've seen again and again. The very first sign that something's changing in their health doesn't always come from the heart or memory or joints. It often comes from down there. That growing sense of tightness, a weaker response, maybe even a dull, cramp-like pressure in the groin that wasn't there before. Many men ignore it, chalking it up to age or stress. But here's what I want you to know. It's not just a random symptom. It's a signal, a warning from your blood vessels that circulation is starting to break down. You see, after 60, your body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide begins to drop. And that matters more than most people realize. Nitric oxide is the compound that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. When it declines, your circulation suffers. And since erectile function is entirely dependent on healthy blood flow, the impact shows up quickly in your sexual performance and sensitivity. But here's the good news. This process isn't irreversible. In fact, one of the most powerful tools to support your vascular health doesn't come from a prescription, it comes from your kitchen. One food in particular has stood out in my practice time and time again. Beets. Yes, beets. These humble root vegetables are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, the very same compound your vessels are crying out for. Think of them as a circulation charger. When my patients begin incorporating beets into their routine, the difference can be profound. I've seen firmer erections, improved energy, and even reduced groin discomfort without pills, procedures, or side effects. If you're wondering how to start, it's simple. Try drinking a small glass of beet juice in the morning, ideally on an empty stomach to jumpstart your nitric oxide production. Or if you prefer solid food, roasted beets tossed into a salad or alongside dinner work just as well. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. This isn't just about sexual health. It's about reclaiming a sense of confidence and vitality that many men fear they've lost with age. You're not broken. Your body just needs support. And sometimes that support starts with something as simple as a glass of beet juice. If this message resonated with you, or if you know someone who could benefit from better circulation and a natural approach to men's health, I encourage you to like this video, share it with a friend, and help spread this message. Small changes can lead to big results, and no man should feel like he's past his prime. I'm Dr. Kara. Thank you for showing up for your health today. Let's keep moving forward together.
I want to share something today that may surprise you. It's not a new drug, it's not a risky procedure. It's actually a fruit that most of us only think about in the summer, and most men are unknowingly throwing away the most powerful part of it. I'm talking about watermelon. Now, I know watermelon sounds like an innocent, even boring topic. But what if I told you that watermelon, especially the part you usually throw away, could be one of the most effective, natural ways to improve blood flow to the areas that matter most? The secret lies in a powerful amino acid called citrulline, which is found in the white rind of the watermelon, the part most people discard. Citrulline acts as a natural vasodilator, meaning it helps your blood vessels open up and relax. This allows blood to flow more freely, especially to sensitive areas like the groin. For many men over 60, the signs of poor circulation show up subtly. You might feel a tightness during arousal that didn't used to be there. Maybe your morning erections are weaker or even gone altogether. That's not just getting older. It's a sign that your blood vessels are stiffening, your nitric oxide levels are falling, and circulation is struggling. One of my patients, a gentleman in his late 60s, had been dealing with that exact issue. Nothing dramatic, just a persistent groin pressure and inconsistency in performance that left him frustrated and confused. I recommended something simple, a daily watermelon smoothie, blending both the red flesh and the white rind. Within 2 weeks, he was waking up with stronger morning erections and, just as importantly, without the tension he used to feel during intimacy. There were no side effects, no prescriptions, just food doing what nature designed it to do. If you want to try this yourself, here's how to start. In the morning, blend a few slices of watermelon with the white part of the rind included. You can keep the seeds or strain them out. That part's up to you. Drink it fresh, preferably on an empty stomach, and give it at least 7 to 10 days of consistency. For many men, the results are noticeable within that first week. I share this with you not because watermelon is a miracle cure. It's not. But because too many men are living with preventable issues, believing it's just part of aging. That's simply not true. Your body is capable of healing and performing when you give it the right tools. If you found this helpful, or if you know someone who might benefit, I encourage you to like this video and share it with a friend or loved one. You never know who might need to hear this message today. Thank you for taking the time to care about your health. It's never too late to feel like yourself again.
If I told you that one of the most powerful ways to support your erections, circulation, and overall vitality after 60 fits in the palm of your hand, would you believe me? And today, I want to talk to you about something small, simple, and often overlooked: pumpkin seeds. Most people scoop them out, toss them in the trash, and never think twice. But when it comes to men's health, especially for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, these little seeds are a quiet powerhouse. Let me explain why. Pumpkin seeds are packed with 3 essential nutrients that directly affect blood flow, sexual function, and hormone balance. First, there's magnesium. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels and prevent the kind of vascular spasms or cramping that many men feel in the groin during arousal. It's not sharp pain, more of a deep tension, and it's one of the most common complaints I hear from older patients. Magnesium helps restore that flexibility your vessels need. Next, we have zinc, absolutely critical for testosterone production. After 60, your testosterone naturally begins to decline, but when zinc is low, it drops even faster. I can't count how many men I've treated whose energy, libido, and drive improved simply by correcting a zinc deficiency. And finally, arginine, an amino acid that helps your body produce nitric oxide. That's the compound responsible for opening up blood vessels and improving circulation, especially where it matters most. Without enough arginine, your body struggles to generate and maintain the kind of blood flow required for firm and reliable erections. Now, let me give you a real example. One of my patients, a retired Air Force officer in his 70s, came to me feeling frustrated, not with desire, but with a strange, persistent tension in his groin that made intimacy uncomfortable. He wasn't in pain, but something wasn't right. I didn't give him a drug. I told him to start eating 1 tablespoon of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds every day. Just a simple habit, no big changes. 3 weeks later, he came back smiling. The tension was gone. His morning erections had returned, and he told me, "Doc, I finally feel like myself again." That's the power of targeted nutrition. If you want to try this at home, it's easy. Keep a small jar of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds in your kitchen. Eat a handful daily as a snack, or toss them into your morning oatmeal or smoothie. No prep, no pills, just results. Your health doesn't have to decline with age. You have more control than you think, and sometimes the answers are right in front of you. If you've been following along, you've already learned about 3 foods that can make a powerful difference in your circulation and sexual health: beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds. But what I want to share with you now is something even more important: how these 3 work together. Because it's not just about eating healthy, it's about giving your body the right tools in the right combination to restore function from the inside out. And when you do that, the results aren't just better, they compound.
I call this combination the circulation trifecta. Let's break it down. First, beets. These are the starters, the initiators. Rich in natural nitrates, beets help your body produce nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes your blood vessels and allows blood to flow more freely. After 60, your nitric oxide levels decline, and that's often why men start to experience performance issues. Beets help reverse that, gently and naturally. Next, watermelon. But not just the red flesh. The white rind is where the real power lies. It contains citrulline, an amino acid that calms the small spasms in your vascular system, especially in the groin area. Think of watermelon as the soother. It helps relieve the cramping or tightness that many men feel during arousal. Together with beets, it opens the pathway even further. Finally, pumpkin seeds. These little guys are the builders. They contain magnesium to relax the vessels, zinc to support testosterone, and arginine, which helps boost nitric oxide. In other words, they keep the engine running. They provide the raw materials your body needs to make sure that the improved blood flow from beets and watermelon actually translates into real, lasting results. Now here's the magic. When you combine all three of these foods consistently, you're not just helping one piece of the puzzle. You're supporting your entire system, from hormones to blood vessels to tissue function. Men who've tried this trifecta often report results in just a few weeks. Firmer morning erections, less growing tension, and a sense of energy they thought was gone forever. This isn't about short-term fixes. It's about giving your body what it needs to rebuild naturally, without relying on medication or dealing with side effects. So, if you're ready to take the next step, make this part of your routine. A glass of beet juice in the morning, a watermelon smoothie mid-morning, and a small handful of pumpkin seeds in the afternoon. It's simple, it's powerful, and it works.
Today, I want to talk about something I see far too often in my practice, something I wish more men over 60 understood before they reached for a pill. Let me start with this. I'm not against medications. They have their place. But I've spent over 30 years working with men who come to me frustrated, disappointed, and even scared because the pill they've been relying on is no longer working. I'm talking about medications like Viagra and Cialis. They're widely prescribed, they promise fast results, and for a while, they deliver. But here's what I tell every patient who walks into my office. Those pills don't fix the problem. They mask the symptoms. They force blood through a system that may already be struggling. What they don't do is address the real issue: stiffened blood vessels, reduced nitric oxide, and declining tissue function. And over time, many men notice something deeply discouraging. The pills lose their power. What used to work like magic becomes unreliable. Some men start increasing the dose. Others chase different brands or combinations. Meanwhile, the root cause is still being ignored. And sometimes those medications come with side effects, headaches, nausea, or even heart strain, that just aren't worth it. Here's what I want every man over 60 to hear clearly. You are not broken. You are undernourished. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's starving for the right support. What it needs isn't another chemical shortcut. What it needs is real foundational care through nutrition, movement, and consistent daily habits that restore circulation, rebuild tissue, and support hormone function from within. I've seen it again and again. Men who thought their best days were behind them. Men who are about to give up. And with a few simple shifts, like adding beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds to their diet, they started to feel something they hadn't felt in years: hope. Their function improved, their confidence returned, not because of a prescription, but because their body finally had the tools to heal itself. If you're watching this and you've been relying on pills alone, I want to challenge you to take a step back and look at the big picture. The quick fix isn't always the lasting fix. But your body, even now, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, can still respond. You just have to give it the right chance. Over the past 30 years, I've worked with thousands of men over 60. many of them feeling like their bodies were slowing down, their energy was fading, and their confidence wasn't what it used to be. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. You're not broken, and you're certainly not out of options. In fact, just a few small daily steps can begin to rebuild your circulation, support sexual function, and restore vitality. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Today, I want to share with you a simple 7-day action plan that combines 3 powerful foods and a few supporting habits. I've seen this routine change lives, not over months, but in just 1 week of consistent effort. Morning. Start with beets. Begin your day with a small glass of beet juice on an empty stomach. Why? Beets are rich in natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, the key molecule that helps relax your blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's a natural way to wake up your circulatory system and set the tone for the day. Mid-morning. Watermelon smoothie. Around mid-morning, blend a smoothie using both the red flesh and white rind of watermelon. The white part holds citrulline, which acts as a natural vasodilator. It helps soothe the small spasms and pressure in the groin area that many men over 60 experience, especially during arousal. It's light, refreshing, and works quietly in the background to support your body. Afternoon. Pumpkin seed power. Sometime in the afternoon, grab a small handful of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds. These are packed with magnesium, zinc, and arginine, nutrients that support blood vessel health, testosterone production, and nitric oxide levels. You can eat them as a snack, toss them into your oatmeal, or blend them into your smoothie. Supporting habits. Stay hydrated. Circulation depends on proper fluid balance. Aim for water throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. Move gently, stretch, take a walk, or just stand up every hour to keep your blood flowing. Be consistent. This plan isn't about perfection. It's about showing up every day and giving your body what it needs, even in small doses. This 7-day routine is more than just a checklist. It's a way to reconnect with your health, to give your body a chance to restore itself, naturally, gently, and without side effects.
And before we wrap up, I want to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who deeply cares about the men I work with every single day. If you've made it this far, it means something powerful. It means you still care about your health, your body, your sense of identity. And I want you to know that matters more than you think. There's a message many men over 60 have been taught to believe, that aging means decline, that loss of strength, energy, or intimacy is simply the price of getting older. But I'm here to tell you, with complete honesty and clinical experience, that isn't true. Aging is not the end. It's a new beginning. It's a time when you get to rebuild, not just your physical health, but your confidence, your sense of purpose, and yes, your connection to yourself as a man. The changes you may have noticed in your body, slower arousal, weaker erections, that uncomfortable growing tightness, these are not signs of failure. They are signals, messages. And the good news? Your body can respond. Not with drugs, not with gimmicks, but with the right support, given consistently, and with care. We've talked about 3 simple foods: beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds. Together, they form what I call the circulation trifecta. They work in harmony to boost nitric oxide, ease vascular spasms, and deliver the minerals your body needs to rebuild from the inside out. This is more than nutrition. This is how we restore not just function, but confidence and masculine identity. Because let's face it, when your body works the way it's meant to, you feel more like you again. And that changes everything.
how you move, how you show up in relationships, how you carry yourself in the world. I'm not offering a time machine. We can't go back. But that's not the goal. The goal is to move forward intentionally with strength, vitality, and clarity. So here's my challenge to you. Try the 7-day plan. 1 week, 3 foods, a few simple habits. No pressure to be perfect. Just show up for yourself. And if this message helped you, if it opened your eyes, gave you hope, or simply made you feel seen, please do me one favor. Like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who might be quietly struggling. You never know whose life you might touch with one simple act. Thank you for trusting me, for showing up for your health, and for choosing not to settle. I'm Dr. Kara, and I believe your strongest chapter may still be ahead.